as part of our continued efforts to reach the African and other ethnic communities in the United Kingdom with greater impacts and create the platform to hear your silent and unheard views in this hugely growing community in the United Kingdom, our channel, Ben TV, presents to you another live current affairs television program. Our focus on the program is to review and discuss issues around the diaspora community in the UK. The program offers you that on. All right, yeah, welcome back, and the program is still dialoguing. That's right, we're not joined by Mr. Dayo Adeneye, the Commissioner for Information and Strategy in Ogun State. D1, pleasure having you on the program today, sir.
Thank you for having me.
It's been a long time.
It's been a while.
Great to have you.
Thank you.
Let me start with you as a person. From D1 to being a Commissioner of Information, the D1 is a household name globally, the music world, in the entertainment world. How did that fit into your job?
Well, it wasn't very difficult. It was
to switch.
It was a big transition, but given the portfolio that I have now, it wasn't that difficult. Look, my life has always been about service, whether it was in entertainment. I've always taken pride in helping others to achieve their goals, and by so helping myself. When you go around and discover Two-Face or remedies or what have you, and you make them into superstars or help them to shine, you're empowering youth and you're creating employment. You're stimulating the economy. We always say for every Two-Face, for every D'banj, for every Don Jazzy that succeeds, they in turn employ managers, dancers, studio producers. So they're creating employment. They're paying taxes. They're creating businesses. So so you're empowering them. But I just felt I'd reached a plateau where I needed to do more on a bigger platform. And through government and governance, you're able to do that for a larger number of people rather than just entertainment. In government, you cut across all spheres, and you're able to help in education, in health, in infrastructure, and a whole myriad, of sectors that you can impact on. The decisions you help make impact, millions of lives, not just in entertainment, but across.
Life as a private citizen, D1 as a private citizen, and life as a government official. When you were D1, private citizen, your view of policies, government and governance, and now that you are Commissioner of Information and Strategy, your view of government and governance.
Believe you me, I am more enlightened. I have a greater respect for people in government, albeit, people still question and say, well, you've joined them, you're a politician now. But being on the inside now, I have a better understanding of how government works. The little things that we take for granted every day, just being able to get from point A to point B on a road, that you don't even have any idea how much it costs, for just that 1 kilometer of road. Being able to just go to the hospital and you're taken care of. The decisions and the things that go into those little things that we take for granted. Now I have a better understanding. Like you said earlier, as private citizen, D1, Kenny and myself used to be, two of the people that would abuse government 24 hours. Nah, they must do it, this and that. But now, having been in, on the inside, and part of that, those decision-making meetings, I have a better understanding of how things work. You just don't make decisions. You just don't plow headfirst into things. You have to find money to execute these projects. And a lot has been mismanaged over the years, and we have to come to terms with that. Nigerians, we are good people. We love the good things in life. But unfortunately, we've not had very good leadership. And that's been wanting, it's been found wanting in Nigeria. So now I have a better understanding of how things work, how we need to get there, and how better to help get there. And being the spokesperson for the state government of Ogun, I have to be a mediary, the middleman between the government and the governed. So we help pass on to the people the policies and the aims of the government, and also bring back to the government the wants, the aspirations, the needs of the people. So if our people in Shagamu, for instance, want a hospital, the government is not building a road. If the people in Ijebu-Ode or Ikpokia want more government presence in terms of schools, that's exactly what we have to, pass back to the government. So we start as a mediary between the government and the government.
Let me take just one more question on you. Previous people who have been in your capacity, who have built a name for themselves, whose integrity were unquestionable, we've seen them before at federal level, spokesperson for government, spokesperson for president. In the course of their service, they tend to lose that credibility in the presence, in the face of the people. How do you intend to come out of this by the time you're done?
I thank you. I take pride in my name and in my brand. Look, this wasn't wasn't a decision made overnight. I've always watched from the sidelines and said, wait a minute, I think we could do this better. I think I can make, I can help in this area. I can make impact in this area. So it took me about 7-8 years to decide to, to go into politics. But look, all of us cannot sit down in our living rooms and complain. We become a nation of complainers. The roads are not good. There's no light. There's no this. Who is going to do, if enlightened and educated people don't join politics and join governance and join government, things will remain the same. We will still have the same crop of people that we have there now. I mean, look at the world over. Young people are, putting themselves up for elections. You saw the recent election of Macron in France, the new young man in I think, Switzerland, the prime minister in Australia. So Nigerians and Africans have to wake up. When Pa Inaworo and the late Baba Awolowo, Nnamdi Azikiwe, when they put in the papers for independence, they were in their 20s. But now our young ones, we are Twitter and Facebook generation. They don't think about anything that has to do with their future, how the government is handling their future. All we care about is, what latest iPhone am I using, what's the latest Samsung. So they wait until they're 30, 34, 40 before they start thinking about, wait a minute, this government is not doing what I want it to do. So we need more young people to participate in governance. And that's why people like myself decided to opt in and say, look, we have to be part of the process, be part of the decision making. That being said, as a spokesperson, I try, I to represent government's interest. You have to be truthful. Once you're truthful and you convey in a very honest manner and you let people know what exactly it is and you put it as what it is, I think that respect will be there. I don't go out and try to mislead the public. I will tell it as it is, whether it's palatable or not. And I think once people see you as coming off genuine, your reputation will be intact.
All right, let's go to infrastructural development. In the course of this discussion, you said we've had leadership in the years past that have mismanaged Nigeria's resources. Ogun State, in terms of its proximity to Lagos State, sometimes people live in Ogun State, they tell you they live in Lagos State because you can jump from one border over to the other. But infrastructural-wise, how competitive is Ogun State?
Oh, anybody who's been into Nigeria lately, who's been in Ogun State, whether it's Ijebu-Ode, you've been in Shagamu, you've been in Abeokuta, you've been in all 3 senatorial zones of Ogun State, you will see the massive transformation going on in Ogun State. If you remember that Lagos Ibadan Expressway just before Ijebu-Ode, you remember that crossing where thousands and thousands of accidents and people used to die. The Ogun State government, when this administration came in, this administration built a flyover across that expressway on behalf of the federal government. And that has saved numerous lives. When this administration came in 2011, it was rated 35th in terms of ease of doing business. And when you take note that there were only 35 states in Nigeria and 36 including the Federal Capital Territory, that was not very good. According to a World Bank report, the government and the governor went to work. 4 years later, when the second World Bank report came out in 2014, Ogun was rated among the top 3. In terms of internal generated revenue, we are second only to Lagos in terms of allocation from federal government and internally generated revenue, which we've moved from 700 million a month to as far as high as 7 billion a month. So you can see that this administration has done tremendously well. I'll add one more thing. PW, PricewaterhouseCoopers, did a Commonwealth survey sometime last year. And this was not even, we didn't even know about it. And when they came out, they found out that 75% of all foreign direct investments to Nigeria, FDIs, were attracted to Ogun State. So we must be doing something right. So it's because of the infrastructural development, the policies that this administration has put in place that is attracting this massive investment and investors to Ogun State.
So let's put that in context. In terms of how much internal generated revenue plus the federal government allocation that Ogun State used to have, now that this government is in power, has increased in multiple folds. How has that translated to better education and good health?
Wow. Thank you. Once again, in the health sector, Ogun rates among first 2 in Nigeria in terms of healthcare indices, healthcare delivery, and the indices. Our indices are far better than even the Nigerian average in terms of infant mortality, in terms of malaria eradication, efficient healthcare delivery. We have a program called Bomoro where we take care of pregnant women and their children to the age of 5 for all their healthcare needs. That has enabled us to deliver more of the dividends of democracy to the people, apart from the massive infrastructure, like I said, the roads, the bridges, as we can. We're talking about over 20 bridges and flyovers across the length and breadth of Ogun State. So that has opened up our roadways. We are now moving to a second phase now where we're going into the rural roads, rural and semi-urban roads. We want to be able to access the farms. We want our farmers to be able to move their goods and their services across the state and to the neighboring state, like you said. We want to be able to feed, not just Ogun State, we want to be able to feed the West African market. Ogun is a gateway state because we have access not just to Lagos State, but you also have access to the West African market. So we are very cognizant of that. Let me quickly tell you that the world's largest brewer, S.A.V. Miller, has birthed in Ogun State. One of the world's largest beverage makers, Coca-Cola, has birthed in Ogun State. So we must be doing something right to be able to attract these big players in the industry. And we want to not just have these industries, our housing is also, we're developing our housing rapidly. We don't want just their workers to live in Ogun State. We also want their management to live in Ogun State. So we are building estates. One major one is the PMB estate, which is a middle income to high income, is for middle to high income earners. So we have all these things in place for, to take Ogun State just, to that very next level.
But the question, let me put that question straight to you. How has this translated to quality education provision? Wow. That including payment of salaries regularly to teachers, training of teachers, provision of books, and access to library facilities for students.
In terms of salaries,
because of course, in terms of generating money, like you said, Ogun State is next to Lagos. And there's a huge amount of money coming to Ogun State. You got very big players in the states. With all this financial income, the yardstick for measuring them on the people will be capital and human development. Yes, capital development or infrastructural development, houses, roads. But what about the people? Schools. So about the people, quality of life on them.
And that's
from
why
education.
that's why, thank you. All these things that are put in place, remember now, all this infrastructural development, the roads, the bridges, they are for our people. It's not just for the governor or for the government. When you build all these things or you improve on all this infrastructure, it's because of the people. The pedestrian walks, the model schools. We have about 28 model schools, 15 of which are ready. We've commissioned 2. I think 2 more will come online before the end of this year. I'm talking about Ogun State model schools. And we're talking about world-class, model school that can compete with any school anywhere in the world. We've had a summer camp in which we've had notable people from the rapid Samsung, some of the big names are sponsoring certain classes, certain equipment for some of these schools. So these are programs designed to affect the lives of our citizens in Ogun State. So it's not just about generating income alone, but you have to generate this income to be able to provide all those things. Ogun has one of the largest wage bills in Nigeria. When I mentioned that IGR, from the federal purse, Ogun collects a little over $1 billion. Ogun collects a little over $1 billion a month, but we pay close to, just above $9 billion monthly in terms of salaries, which we've not defaulted on. Ogun is one of the few states able to pay salaries as and when due. So when you're looking at collecting money from the federal purse of $1 billion plus, and you're paying 9.2 billion in salaries monthly, you're playing catch up. So even our IGR added to that allocation from the federal government is not even enough to pay wages. Now, in Ogun State, we have the largest concentration of public primary schools, over 2,000. Lagos has more private schools, but Ogun State has the most public primary schools. Paying the salaries of the teachers alone is a little over 2 billion, just the teachers alone. But we've managed, and God continues to answer our prayers, we're paying it. Because we know education, people that are educated are easy to govern and easy to manage. So education is a very, very important sector for us. As a matter of fact, it's the first in line for our 5 cardinal programs. We also devote a major part of our budget, our annual budget, to education, the highest, as a matter of fact, over 20% annually to education. So it's a very, very important priority for us in Ogun State.
Okay. In terms of, let's look at the higher education in Ogun State. You have the university, you have the polytechnic being taken care of by Ogun State government. What is the relationship between the government and the staff of either ASU or NASU and the students?
When you say the relationship, we have a very cordial relationship with those agencies. We don't have any direct link with them. Theirs is a teachers' union or union of Ogun State doesn't have any problems with them. You will know that what we are responsible for is the payment of some salaries, primary school teachers, and what we do is we augment the tertiary. We've recently upgraded Moshood Abiola Polytechnic to a university. We've also created a brand new polytechnic in Ekpokia, which has never had a tertiary institution. But we have a very cordial relationship with ASUP and all the other agencies. As a matter of fact, we're rated as one of the most friendly governments to labor. The governor has received numerous awards this year as being very labor friendly because we pay salaries and we pay it as when due. We're a very worker friendly administration, and everybody knows that and they've acknowledged that. And the governor continues to receive awards in that area.
How much does the government spend on supporting indigent students in the state?
You have to quantify that. What do you mean, indigent students?
Students in, let's say, students in tertiary institutions who are struggling with either tuition fee or struggling with coping with everyday life in school, who are indigent of Ogun State.
There are various programs available to the Education Ministry that they can apply for. Like I said, the government subsidizes. We give each university a certain amount of money monthly to augment their income. Let's not forget that.
Does the government offer bursaries?
Yes, we do. But you have to apply for it, just like any other place in the world. It's not going to be brought to you at home. Yes, if there's a need. Look, the responsibility of any government is to educate its citizens, and we take that very, 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 very. We take that very, very, very seriously. Ogun State, you will know, you can find out, has the most number of tertiary institutions, almost 28. And they are not just attracted to Ogun State because we are Ogun State. It's because we were the first to access Western education. So we are a state of many firsts. The first Nobel laureate, first professor of medicine, for a lot of firsts from Ogun State, because we take education very seriously. We're very enlightened and highly educated people. So we don't take, like I said, we don't take education very lightly. And we devote a huge amount of our budget to education on an annual basis. So we're not just paying lip service to education. On our 5 cardinal programs, education comes first on it. And we devote a lot of energy and attention and money to it. And like you said, indigent students that have financial needs, yes, there are a lot of programs for them. They just have to go to the Ministry of Education and apply and see what is available to them and apply for it.
Let's quickly take a look at sports development in Ogun State. The state has come under some knocks in recent time in terms of sports development and encouraging youth participation in sports, especially when it came to light that the government was trying to create a kind of special carnival for a Nigerian boxer in the UK who is believed to be of Ogun State origin. And people were like, excuse us, this guy is British, and why is Ogun State trying to do carnival? Concentrate on your people and develop them.
No.
So what is Ogun State doing in terms of supporting youth sports development in this?
No, you see, let's be very clear. We should not be purveyors of fake news. You see, the world has become a global village. It's good and sometimes it's bad. Like my governor will say, the social media can be used in 2 ways. MWD, a weapon of mass development, or a weapon of mass destruction. You see, people copy and paste a lot of things. When the young man had his first fight, a lot of people went on social media. Ogun State, he's from Ogun State, he's from Shagamu. The government has not done anything to support him. Ogun State presence is not fair, blah, 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 blah. We showed a bit of interest in supporting the young man this time around. Yes, what can we do to assist? How can Ogun State, feature? And they went to town again. We're organizing a carnival. The government and this administration, especially our governor, does not have those kind of funds to do any carnival for any such thing. Yes, he's a citizen of Ogun State. We are very, very proud of him. And the governor has made several calls to him, to Anthony Joshua, and to his family. Yes, we must support because he is Nigerian. Yes, you say he's British, but his roots are in Shagamu. And his people are very, very much, they were very, very much, very supportive. You saw there were some TV arms that went there to cover the event. So we must support and we must encourage, not just the Anthony Joshuas of the world, but even the upcoming ones, because the support we give them will encourage the younger ones. There was no such thing as any carnival. We are the records. Have you seen any pictures of any? But our people are quick to, pass judgment and spread fake news. No, this government is a very responsible one, and I put it to you to show any place where there was a carnival or any. We're a very responsible administration. And all these things that I mentioned, all these achievements wouldn't have been possible if we were frivolous with the taxpayers' money. You know, money is meant for education, are spent on education. Money meant for health is spent on health. That does not mean that the government or the governor will not support our citizens and indigenes doing well outside the country. He has sent a congratulatory message to Anthony Joshua and his family. As a matter of fact, he even called to wish him well and to congratulate him and to let him know that we support him and we are available for him. If he decides his next fight should be in Ogun State, you know, we'll be there to support him as well. But you know, we do support all these our artists and athletes in diaspora just as much as we support those back home.
What's the government doing to support those back home? Sports development in Ogun State. Not many awards in terms of sports achievement in recent time.
No. I beg to differ of that. I think
Take us through.
I think you need to check you need to check.
You're here. Take us
You
through.
need to check. I'm not the commissioner for sports, so I will not be able to tell you the intricate details.
I do.
But I will tell you
that.
some of the weightlifters that won gold medals. I think we had 2 or 3 out of them. The under 17 boys that went to win the World Cup, I think 2 years ago. 3 of them were discovered by the wife of the governor in a youth sports academy right there in Abeokuta. Even that World Cup winning team, they were camped in Ogun State. Ogun State camped them for almost a year. Are you with me? Mm-hmm. So we've done quite a bit, and we continue to do so. We just look. When you do what you're supposed to do as a government, people don't notice unless you're shouting at the top of the hill. But when we do what we're supposed to do as a government, it's just part of the everyday process and everyday work. It's, you know, like my governor would say, when you get 9 over 10, people don't see the 9. It's the 1 that they notice. So we continue to do as much as we can in every area, not just sports, in health, in education. Look, when you mention any 3-4 states in Nigeria, as of today, Ogun State will be among the top 2, top 3. Not just because it's Ogun State, but because we are doing a lot of things right in just about every sector. And that's why I mentioned that when this administration came in 2011, it was rated number 35. But now, everybody wants to come to Ogun State. And that's why I mentioned some of, not just those investors, conferences, visitors, I mean, everybody, even vacation. People come to Ogun State now to take their vacations.
Because of our time, let's quickly go through back to the issue of days of doing business in Ogun State. Ogun State, of course, just like any other state in Nigeria, Nigerians in diaspora, a lot of people from Ogun State abroad, everywhere in the world, and sending money through the informal sector to the country. But in terms of they investing in Ogun State, if my viewers are watching this program and either from Ogun State or not from Ogun State, they are willing and interested, they've got the resources, they've got the financial capability to invest, how easy will it be? Where do they start from? Who do they speak to? Who do they contact?
Thank you. Very, very easy. We have a one-stop shop, what we call a one-stop shop, domiciled in the Ministry of Commerce and Industry in Ogun State, in Abeokuta. And we have a full team there for all your needs, whether you need land for your industry or for your office, you need CFOs, you need environmental impact assessment, whatever it is that you need, that one-stop shop will take you through from A to B to Z to what have you. And they will take you through the whole process until you are happy, you're situated, and your business kicks off running. For Ogun State indigenes in diaspora, that's the same one-stop shop. I'm sorry, I don't have the number, but I will be sure to leave it with you. It's there for anybody that wants to invest and wants to come to Ogun State. It's a very easy process. We've streamlined, we've narrowed it down. In the instance where you used to have 35 or 36 or 30-something processes for you to go to, now we've slimmed it down to maybe 4 or 5 for you to, from the start. And we make sure we stay with you until your business or your investment or whatever it is kicks up. So in terms of ease of doing business, it's very, very, very easy now.
All right, it's been a pleasure. I've been talking with Dayo Adene, the Commissioner of Information and Strategy, Ogun State. Join us here live in our studio. Before I let you go, this government is in its last lap, I suppose.
We are towards the tail end of our second term. We're going towards our 7th year now, the second term of 4 years. So by this time next year, we'll be...
What legacy does this government want to leave behind?
I think this administration would like to be remembered for its doggedness, turning things around in Ogun State. I really believe that the people know and they see what this administration has been able to do. It's a very secure environment now. When this administration came in, even banks would not open in Ogun State. People didn't want to come to Ogun State for anything. They wouldn't touch you with a 10-foot pole. But now we are the toast of, not just Nigeria, we're the toast of Africa. Like I told you, 75%. When you talk about 75% of foreign direct investment to the entire Nigeria, when you talk about 36 states, when one state is taking 75%, that tells you it's a huge amount, and we must be doing something right. So to our citizens, Nigerians, and Ogun State indigenous in diaspora, please come home. Let's do it together. I am one of those people. I can testify to that. I'm one of those people that left America and went back home, to contribute my own quota. And we all have to do it together. It's easy to sit abroad and throw stones and say they are not doing it. But what are you? You have to ask yourself, like John F. Kennedy once said, there comes a time when you must ask yourself, what can you do for your country, not just what your country can do for you. So we urge our brothers and sisters to whatever little you can. Yes, Nigeria is not yet in paradise. We're not where we want to be. But to take efforts from myself, yourself, to take Nigeria to that pride of place in the Committee of Nations.
Post this government, what are we looking at from you?
I will continue to serve my people in whatever capacity,
that comes your way.
That comes my way. Yes.
All right, we'll be talking with Adene, the Commissioner of Information and Strategy, Ogun State. Thank you for joining us on the
Thank you very much for having me.
I will take a short break and then we'll go to Spain, where we'll be taking a look at the Catalonian independence and the way forward. Don't go away. We'll be back.